provision, and love. Some of us never had it, others of us lost it too soon. Either way, we felt a gap. And that's what we're talking about today. And just moving. All right, so shout out to all of the replay viewers. Okay. If you have not registered for my free webinar that I'm hosting on October 30th, navigating grief throughout the holidays, make sure you register for that. You need these microphones to act right. Okay, it's completely free, but you have to register. The link, go to my page. The link is at the top. All right. So if you've ever looked for safety in spaces that never felt secure, this live is for you. So a quick story about my own father. And so many of you have messaged me, left comments under my reels regarding toxic mothers, and you're like, Renisha, do you have anything for narcissistic fathers, toxic fathers? Everything you're describing is my father. So we're going to jump into it. All right, a little about my father. So my dad was a Marine. He fought in Vietnam. A gazillion years later, he ended up getting cancer from a chemical that was in the war called Agent Orange. Okay, it ended up giving him cancer a gazillion years later. It gave him lung cancer. So I was 12 years old when he died. My little brother was 5 years old. My parents were married. My daddy was always in the home. But I did notice that after he died, I would entertain men that I would have never entertained had my daddy still been alive. And it was because I was looking for that safety. My daddy made me feel safe. I realized at the beginning of last year, I never felt safe since my dad died. Okay. So his death imprinted in me this need of safety from men. And this left me with a lifelong search for stability. All right. So when people talk to me about daddy wounds, or they ask me about, do I have any products for father wounds? I'm like, listen, I had a good father. My mother was toxic, but here we are. Okay. So no matter where your story diverges, your body remembers what safety felt like or didn't. And whether your father was absent, passive, abusive, or amazing and just gone too soon, there's still some healing that you need to do. So tonight, let me say this. Tonight is not about blaming men. Okay? It's about understanding how their presence or absence trained our nervous system to expect love a certain kind of way, and how to retrain that. I probably should not have used that effect that I use on TikTok. Okay? So my clarity reset is a 7-day process that helps your body to stop confusing chaos with love. So we're going to take a breath together. Those of you that know you have some father wounds, your daddy was this, that, and the third. Take a deep breath. We're about to uncover some things, okay? So let's start here. Having a father doesn't always mean you had a connection. This is, put my hand down. It doesn't mean you always had a connection. Some women grew up with their dad in their house, but he was never in the moment. He wasn't present. So he provided financially, but he didn't connect with them. Then we have others who they had an affectionate father when they were little, but by the time they hit adolescence, his voice faded. Okay? That gap taught them that love has an expiration date. And I hope you all have your notepads and your pens, because it's a lot that I have to give you tonight. So, emotional availability matters just as much as physical presence. You can be in the same room and still be invisible. You can share a last name with someone and still feel like a stranger. Okay? This is called emotional attunement. It's what teaches a child When I speak, someone listens. When I get hurt, someone comes. Okay? So what's that? What when that is missing, your nervous system learns that safety is uncertain and that love must be earned through performance. All right. So if you ever wondered why you over explain yourself or why you crave reassurance, even this glare on my glasses is working my nerves, or why you crave reassurance even when you're secure, this might be the root cause of that. Okay. It's not weakness. You're not weak. This is emotional conditioning. Hope you all are understanding. It's mighty quiet in here to say you all have been begging me. Some of you have been begging me to do something about daddy wounds. Okay. So your first no, our first yes to ourselves comes from our father's affirmation. Fathers are extremely important. I know you walking around talking about your daddy, dragging him through the mud, talking about I don't need this, why I don't need a man, I don't need a daddy, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the third. No, you're not. Fathers are very important, okay? When a father affirms us, he builds permission. He teaches his daughter that it's okay for her to take up space. He teaches her your feelings matter. He teaches you that your discernment is trustworthy. A lot of you, the reason why you continue to choose the men or the women you do, because some of you have transitioned over, the reason why you keep choosing them is because you have daddy wounds and you refuse to address it, okay? When your father's affirmation When your father's affirmation is missing, what's up, Candace? The daughter spends years, you spend years learning how to trust yourself. Or worse, you start trusting everybody else first. Your father's voice becomes your first mirror. Okay? When that mirror gets cracked, your reflection is now blurred. Your perception, cracking the mirror, cracking your perception. All right, so drop a heart in the chat. Drop a pink heart. Y'all know pink is my favorite color. Drop a pink heart in the chat if you realize that your dad's presence wasn't always equal to connection. So some of us, we were overprotected but under affirmed. What's up, Rosalind? First time watching from PA in the house. Whoop, whoop. Hit the like button, and if my content, I'll say that if my content resonates with you, then make sure you follow me and turn on your notifications. Okay. So some of us were overprotected but under affirmed. Others were independent way too soon because you had nobody to fall back on. Okay. So either way, your nervous system recorded that as I can do it on my own. I'm on my own. All right. So there are times when a silent father, he can wound you worse than a present one, okay? And then an absent one, I'm sorry. A silent father can wound you more at times than someone who is completely absent. His affirmation is like oxygen. You need it. You need it. You need it. For those of you that are like, well, my father's never been there and I'm grown now, it doesn't matter. That's fine. God is your father, right? But you need, listen, it's extremely important. All right. Many of you, you grew up starving for your dad's affirmation. You were starving for that oxygen. Okay. A lot of times you don't miss what you never had until life demands it. And then you wonder why you feel unprepared. Okay. So a quick reset for those that are joining. My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach. I help high achieving women who look polished and pretty on the outside, but they're silently crumbling on the inside. I help them unlock their peace, their clarity, and their emotional freedom. Today, we're unpacking the layers of father wounds, how they start, and how they shape your definition of safety. So many of you have been messaging me about father wounds. Here you go, and you're welcome. So, as we peel back these layers, I want you to notice where your story moves in your own body, okay? Do you get tense? Pay attention to that. Are you getting tense while I'm talking? Are you feeling something in your stomach? Are you crying? Do you feel numb? All right? And make sure to take deep breaths throughout, okay? You don't have to analyze any of this. You just have to acknowledge it because your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. If you do not acknowledge the fact that you have father wounds, you cannot get healed from them, period. So the longer you ignore it, the more bound you're going to become. So we're going to talk about the psychology of father wounds, okay? Let's talk about how our nervous system learned love, not from the movies, not from adulthood, but from our earliest models, mama and daddy. Okay? If mom represents comfort, dad represents direction. When your comfort is inconsistent, you question if you're lovable. When direction is missing, you question if you're even capable. Again, I hope you all are taking notes. So, secure attachment says love stays when it's safe to be seen. Okay, that's secure attachment. Anxious attachment, I'll do anything not to be abandoned. Whatever you need me to do, I just don't want you to leave me. This is anxious attachment. All right. Then there's avoidant attachment. It says if I need too much, I'm going to lose control. And I have to be in control. Okay. These are emotional imprints, they're not character flaws. I'm trying to stop saying okay and all right so much, y'all. So, our early environment taught our brain what to expect from connection. If your father was inconsistent, emotionally absent, or harsh, your system learned to anticipate danger instead of support. This is why you have to learn how to retrain your brain and retrain your nervous system. So then you turn around and you start dating someone, they're stable, but now you're bored. It's not really boredom, it's your nervous system craving that chaos because in your mind, chaos is familiar. You grew up in chaos. That man ain't boring. He's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. But your nervous system is used to chaos. It's trauma. Okay? Okay. So, mother wounds. When we talk about mother wounds influence how we feel, father wounds influence how we function. Let me say that again. Mother wounds influence how we feel, father wounds influence how we function. Do I need to turn my light on? Many strong women, I can't find the cord. Many strong women aren't fearless, they're fatherless in strategy, okay? All these hyper independent women. Hyper independence is just grief wearing confidence. Ooh, Lord, no. Okay. Hyper independence is just grief wearing confidence. All right. You didn't become strong because you wanted to, you became strong because you had to. I'll say that again. You didn't become strong because you wanted to, you became strong because you had to. But survival strength cannot build sustainable safety. That's what we rewire inside of the clarity reset. Have you ever noticed? Think about this. Have you ever noticed how you prepare for disappointment before joy? You expect to be disappointed. That's one of the ways that father wounds show up. They wire protection over possibility. Take a deep breath, clock it. And again, throughout this teaching, I need you to notice where your body is bracing, where you're tensing up, and all of that. Okay. Is it your jaws clenching, your shoulders, your stomach? This is learned protection, it's not personality. So if this is hitting, Just type still learning safety in the comments. Still learning safety in the comments. So our patterns of loving, leaving, or holding back in relationships started here with father wounds and mother wounds. Okay? I'm about to get real specific. Make sure you're taking notes. Okay? I'm going to get specific about how these patterns were born. Awareness helps us name it, but naming it isn't enough. We have got to take action to change it. I'm going to give you 5 types of father wounds and how it shows up in you as an adult. 5 types. If you're ready, type ready. Type ready, tap the screen, do something, hit the like button. I'm going to give you 5 types of father wounds and how it shows up in you as an adult. Number 1, the absent father. So this is when your father was either physically or emotionally missing. Physically or emotionally. Because remember, some people can be present but still absent. I remember when I was living in Chicago, attending the church I attended there one night. I don't know, well, not just one night. They were always prophesying, but I was getting prayed for, and it was actually my pastor's mother. And she started talking about, I have never had a conversation with this lady. She started talking about how my mother wounds show up. And she said, you can have an absent mother, even though she was present the whole time. Okay. Same thing with dad. So this is the absent father. He was physically or emotionally missing. As an adult, you dealt with people who have had these type of fathers, absent fathers. As an adult, you deal with the fear of abandonment. I'm gonna try to go a little slow for those of you taking notes. You deal with people pleasing. You develop this deep seated fear that people are just going to leave you. That abandonment is rooted in rejection. You become either emotionally clinging or completely avoidant, one or the other. You read distance as rejection, even when it isn't. You're constantly trying to prove your worth through performance because in your mind, you're thinking, if I'm needed, I won't be left. Y'all, let me turn the light on. Oh no. Knock my cup over. In your mind, you're thinking, if I'm needed, if as long as they need me, they won't leave me. Okay? Where am I at? Also, those of you that have absent fathers or had absent fathers, you mistake being chosen for being loved. Okay? And you often feel unseen or unclaimed in relationships and friendships. Those are for the ones that had absent fathers. All right, now I'm going to give you abusive fathers. This is number 2. I'm giving you 5 types of father wounds. So the abusive father, your dad was either verbally, physically, or spiritually abusive. Those of you that dealt with that, when you became an adult, you developed hypervigilance. You're always scanning for emotional danger or tone shifts. You associate love with fear or anxiety. See how wild it sounds when you say it out loud? Like, that don't make no sense. Okay? You cannot relax around people you love if you had an abusive father. Okay? Also, as an adult, you became a perfectionist. You're trying to earn calm or safety through good behavior. You tend to avoid confrontation even when wronged, or you overreact when you're triggered. Also, it's possible that you're repeating this cycle and you don't even realize it. You're choosing partners who weaponize words or anger. Basically, you date your daddy, you marry your daddy, okay? And you feel the safest when walking on eggshells because you see peace as temporary and not normal. So that's for those of you that had abusive fathers. Number three, the passive father. My God. If you had a passive father, your dad was avoidant, he was conflict averse, he didn't like disagreements or confrontation. Your mama ran all over that man. Okay? For those of you that have passive fathers, as an adult, you became the emotional leader in every space. You're the fixer, the stabilizer, and the strong one. I was about to say something, I'm not going to say that. You tend to overfunction in relationships and you feel unsafe when someone else takes the lead. You got to be in control. You have to be in control, okay? You tend to confuse, child, you tend to confuse safety. You confuse control with safety. I'm sorry. You confuse control with safety and then you struggle to surrender or trust other people. Your daddy was passive. You equate love with caretaking. You got to be the caregiver. You got to take care of everybody. Because in your mind, this is what love is. Also, you feel uneasy. You don't feel right receiving affection or help because doing feels safer than being. You don't know how to receive help. You have to be the one who does it, okay? That's the third one. The fourth father wound, the narcissistic father. A lot of y'all were messaging me saying my dad is a narcissist, okay? If you had a dad that was a narcissist, his control was disguised as care. So as an adult, you confused love and manipulation. You became a chronic people pleaser or an approval addict. You suppress your needs to avoid criticism or you withdraw from affection altogether. Also, you tend to choose emotionally self centered partners because you're repeating that same power dynamic. Dynamic. What? You're repeating the same power dynamic. Okay? If your dad was a narcissist, as an adult, you struggle with self trust. You second guess yourself and your desires. You don't know what you want. You can't trust your thoughts. You can't trust yourself to make the right decision because your daddy was a narcissist. Also, you measure your worth by usefulness or admiration. And the last one for that category, you feel guilty for outgrowing people or prioritizing yourself. That's for those of you who had your dad was a narcissist. And then the last father wound I'm going to talk about is the inconsistent father. So this is for those of you where your daddy was hot and cold. You didn't know what to expect at any given moment. Okay? So if you had an inconsistent father, when you became an adult, you battled with anxiety. You overanalyze all of your relationships. You tend to confuse inconsistency with excitement. In your mind, chaos feels like chemistry. Relationship just as chaotic, but you're like, oh, we have the strong chemistry, baby, no trauma, okay? You also struggle to trust stability. You get bored when things feel too good, okay? You tend to overthink affection. You're always thinking stuff like, are they pulling away? Did I do something wrong? Oh my God, they're gonna leave me. All right? You tend to experience emotional whiplash. One day you're over invested. The next day you're completely detached. I'm talking about those of you who had inconsistent fathers. You also live in cycles of overgiving and resentment. And you tend to attract emotionally unpredictable partners because inconsistency feels familiar to you. That is your safe space, that inconsistency, okay? So sometimes a father can hold more than one wound type, and then that intersection makes unlearning this stuff even harder. All right, inside the clarity reset, I help you separate what your nervous system has learned from what your heart actually needs. Let me reset the room. Again, really quick, for those of you that are just jumping in, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach. I help high achieving women who look flawless on the outside but are crumbling on the inside unlock their clarity, peace, and emotional freedom. We just walked through the main types of father wounds. I gave you 5 types. You can watch the replay if you are just coming on. All right, but if you're realizing your patterns trace back to early protection, you're in the right place. So, oh Lord. I'm sorry, y'all. Now that we've named our wounds, let's explore. Let's talk about what healing looks like. All right, let's explore that, including the messy parts that nobody talks about. So, how do we heal the father wound? I hope you're taking notes. Compassion and comparison. Healing does not require dishonor. Healing does not require dishonor. Healing does not require dishonor. Okay, you can acknowledge what hurt you without rewriting history in bitterness. So I have an aunt who shall remain nameless, but y'all know I will tell my business or my family's business in a minute and will. So I have an aunt. I don't know. I know some of the things my grandpa did as a child. I don't know in detail, but when I tell you she never forgave him, so when she started dating men, she used them. And when I tell you she used the out of these men, I'm talking about new cars. And when I say cars, I'm talking about BMWs, brand new with the title, Mercedes, Volvo, like nice car, foreign cars, houses. I'm not making this up. Houses. Okay? She just used them for their money, but she was really mad at her own father and she was trying to get back at her dad, even though he's dead and gone now, by hurting these men. I could go into way more detail, but y'all, please don't become bitter, okay? One man, she didn't like how his kids were treating her. So she told the man, "You said you was gonna get me X amount of money out the bank. I can't do you no more because I can't." Mind you, these people grown, kids grown. That man went and got her over six. She broke up with the man, and then he still went and got her over 6 figures out the bank. Okay, I'm not making this up. Please don't become bitter. Okay, so you can acknowledge what hurt you without rewriting history in bitterness. Compassion doesn't mean access. It means you stopped negotiating your peace. All right. So many women tend to overcorrect. They'll either defend their father to protect the good, or they completely demonize him to protect their pain. Both are imbalance. Okay? Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts, the taps on YouTube. So your father's humanity doesn't erase your hurt, and your hurt doesn't erase your father's humanity. Write that down. Your father's humanity doesn't erase your hurt, and your hurt doesn't erase your father's humanity. Cognitive dissonance is what happens when the mind holds two conflicting truths. He loved me and he hurt me. He hurt me and he loved me. He loved me and he hurt me. He hurt me and he loved me. Okay? Both can be true at the same time. Healing, write this down. Write this down. Healing requires emotional maturity to let both truths live in the same room. Healing requires emotional maturity. Okay? So picture it like this, and I should have had some jars, but picture it like this. So you're holding 2 jars, one for the memories you're grateful for, the other for the pain that you'll never normalize. You're allowed to carry both of them without shame. Need to start having some visuals next time. So think about this. I'm going to ask you a question. Think about this. What do you wish your father had said to you that you still crave to hear? And like I said towards the beginning, y'all can fake the funk all y'all want. I don't need no daddy, men, women, whatever. Yes, you do. You needed him, whether your dad was there or not. You absolutely needed him. And I have talked to grown men who have opened up to me and admitted that there's still something on the inside of them that craves their daddy. So baby, you can fake it with somebody else, but you can't fake it over here. All right? You are not crazy for wanting closure. You're just human for needing context. So compassion without boundaries becomes codependency. Healing means you're giving yourself the compassion you once needed from others, but this time is with structure. People love to say, "Oh yeah, show compassion. Show compassion to that person. Show compassion to them. Give them mercy. Give them grace." What about to yourself? You need to show yourself some compassion, okay? So I know that was a lot for part one, huh? How do we heal the wound? So I just went over compassion and comparison. Now we're going to talk about boundaries and reparenting. And I believe we're going to go deeper into this tomorrow. I think tomorrow is all about reparenting and stuff like that. All right. So, emotional boundaries, emotional boundaries, emotional boundaries. And y'all know I talk about how you need to find you some boundaries. Sis, bruh, watching live, catching the replay, find you some boundaries. Emotional boundaries are the invisible lines that defines where my peace ends and where someone else's responsibility begins. Okay? So, healthy daughters or sons do not rescue broken fathers. You can love your daddy and still limit his access to you. Let me say it again. You can love your daddy and still limit his access to you. You can love your father and completely cut off his access to you. When I taught the Surviving Toxic Mothers class series back in the spring, I talk about how you can completely cut them off. I'm all for no contact if that's what you need. How do you confront and deal with all of this? I'm overwhelmed. Oh, I'm sorry. So you can I'm going to go through that. You can grab my clarity reset. That's going to help you, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed. That would be the first step. But when you're talking about confronting, I need you to acknowledge it. If you acknowledge, okay, this is me. She's talking about me. I did not have a healthy relationship with my daddy, because some of you all, you know that you have father wounds. Others of you, you didn't even know that until tonight, until this teaching, okay? You have to acknowledge it. Now, when you're talking about confronting, I hope you don't mean like confronting your father, because sometimes that's not the best thing to do. It's just not. You have to start to heal yourself first. You have to be okay with the fact that your father, I was about to say mother or father, but tonight is about father wounds. You have to be okay with the fact that your dad may not want to hear, if he's still living, those of you that have fathers that you're seeing in this, but he's still living, you have to be okay with the fact that if you try to go have a conversation with him, you may make everything worse. He just may snap, go off, not take any accountability. So I feel like you need to, it depends on the person. If you have a father that you can talk to and you feel like you need to express yourself, fine, but you need to prepare for all extremes. Prepare for that man to break down and apologize. Prepare for that man to cuss you out and kick you out his house. You got to prepare for both extremes. But if you're overwhelmed just listening at this, you have to start retraining your nervous system first. You don't need to talk to him while you're still feeling overwhelmed just from this teaching. But again, you can grab my clarity reset. I literally retrain you. I teach you how to retrain and rewire your mind and your nervous system. Okay? And even if somebody else is like Fatima, I think that's what it says. The phone is kind of far back. Any of you, if someone else is like watching this, like, girl, this, I'm glad she said it because I'm overstimulated too. You have one victory: the mere fact that you're on this live and listening, confronting. Okay. Oh, honey, well, this tonight is your first step. This is perfect. Listen, acknowledge it. You're acknowledging it, so that's a good first step. It's been bottled up for decades. Wow. You're welcome. Yeah, so this is a great first step. And grab my clarity reset. Also, I'll talk about that a little later. But this is a great first step. The worst thing you can do when it comes to father wounds, mother wounds, staying around toxic families, grief, any of that is just letting it build up. Pretending it's not there, that is the worst thing you can do. The longer you act like it doesn't exist, the more bound you become. Okay? Let it out. Even I'm going to give you all some journal prompts at the end and some affirmations. But even after this is over, like if you need to turn off the well, after it's over and you turn off the camera, if you need to cry, break something, cuss, I mean, I support it all. I do. I don't judge y'all. All right, thank you, Candace. Candace said her clarity reset is worth it. I've done it time and time again. It's helpful each time. More healing came. I'm telling you. And I did a public challenge a couple of weeks ago, and I told y'all I was crying for my own clarity reset. I can't make you all grab it, but I'm telling you, it is that. The only person that doesn't need it are the people who don't have it, and I stand on business when it comes to that. Grab the clarity reset. All right. Yeah, I don't know where I was in my notes, but it is okay. Oh, yeah. So you can love your dad and still limit his access to you or cut him off completely. It depends on the situation, okay? If you need to go no contact forever, do that. If you need to go no contact temporarily, do that. And please know that boundaries aren't rejection, they're regulation. Okay? Some people feel bad and they feel guilty about setting boundaries. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all my business a little bit more. I don't know who watching me, but it is what it is. So there's someone I've been conversing with a little more that knew me like since I was a teenager. And I was talking to him about, not on a romantic level either. Let me say that because some of y'all. So I was talking to him about, I have a whole mother wound recovery suite, right? My toxic mama. I'll say it like this: don't let anybody make you feel bad about setting boundaries. You need to do whatever you need to do in order for you to heal. I don't care how many scriptures they come with. I don't care how many times they say, well, just make sure you do. I know. Don't become bitter. I teach that. Don't become bitter. Forgive, love. You can do all of that and still go no contact. Okay? So I had to pull back from that person. They called me yesterday. I didn't answer the phone because I feel like you don't even understand that you're talking to somebody completely different. I'm the same person, but I'm not the same person. You understand? And if communicating with you is going to cause me to go back, I love you, but you got to go. So set the boundaries that you need. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about setting boundaries. All right? Back to the teaching, y'all. All right. So trauma bonding, trauma bonding, trauma bonding, trauma bonding. It often masquerades as loyalty. Okay? And we know over here they use trauma bonding improperly all the time. Trauma bonding is when there is, okay, let's say we're talking about abusive fathers. So let's say my dad was abusive. He wasn't abusive to me. This is just an example. Let's say my daddy was abusive, but I can't stop talking to him. I can't stop going around. I'm still trying to get his affection. I'm going to make him love me. I just can't let him go. I can't cut him off. I can't go no contact. This is trauma bonding. When you just can't detach from your abuser. So some people, they see two people in relationships. Both of the people went through trauma and they say, oh, they form a trauma bond. That's why they can't get rid of it. That's a lie. They treat each other well. It doesn't matter what their backgrounds are, okay? If y'all want to know a good example of a trauma bond, Chris and E. Kane. Now, depending on how old you are or what platforms you frequent, you don't know who that is. But that is a perfect example of what a true trauma bond is. It is not two people who were traumatized that are loving each other correctly. That is not a trauma bond. It's when one person is an abuser or both and they can't get rid of each other. Okay? So that's a good example. Chris and E. Kane. Maybe this will pop up in her feed. Okay? I can help you heal, sis. All right, so trauma bonding often masquerades as loyalty, but boundaries are going to help your nervous system relearn, okay? Relearn that safety and closeness can coexist without self betrayal. So, if every time your father calls you, your body starts to tense up, or you rehearse how to say it the right way, that's your nervous system signaling that you need to set a boundary. And it's not rebellion. You have got to set a boundary. If every time he pulls up in your yard, every time you see his name on a text message, you start feeling anxious, you need to set a boundary. That is not good. All right. So boundaries just don't protect daughters. They also model to sons what healthy masculine energy is meant to hold. Okay. Stability without control, strength without silence. So let's talk about the sons, just in case some men are watching or men that are going to catch the replay and they're dealing with farmer. What? They're dealing with father wounds. All right. Absent fathers don't just wound daughters, they confuse their sons. So, sorry, y'all. When you find men who are raised without secure paternal presence, they often swing between two extremes. Either this hyper independence where they don't need anybody, or they're dealing with emotional paralysis where they don't know how to connect. This is a lot. But Tima, I see why you were overwhelmed, honey. I didn't even have a. My father was amazing. This is a lot. Let me say it again for the men watching in the back. Men raised without a secure paternal presence swing between two extremes: hyper independence, I don't need anybody, or emotional paralysis. Emotional paralysis. I don't know how to connect. They can get married, they can get in these relationships, they can hold down careers, all while going through emotional paralysis and not knowing how to connect. Falling off heavy, but listen, right? Okay. So a boy without affirmations becomes a man still auditioning for approval, whether it's in relationships, careers, or even his faith. I'm not going to call the name, but there is a well known pastor, and I don't even know his story. Well known pastor, preacher. I don't want y'all to guess who this is, so let me be careful. I won't go into details, but I was told he made a statement about his dad and needing his dad, and it just made sense. It just made sense. I don't want y'all to, it made sense, okay? That he was auditioning for the approval of somebody. All right. Some of you love snapping on your man and telling him how he acts like a little boy, but you don't even realize that he really is. He's a little boy in a grown man's body. Okay? So every wounded son was once a boy who didn't know where to put his courage. When fathers fail to model protection, sons often mistake domination for strength. Some of you may have dated men like this. Like they have to prove they in their minds, they have to prove their manhood. All right? So the absence of affirmations birth comparison and competition in these men. Okay? Healing isn't gendered. It's generational. All right? So when we repair the masculine energy in our families, everyone is going to find new safety. But it's the repairing. It has to be repaired, okay? That's what my clarity reset helps you to do. You can break these, I help you break these subconscious agreements and retrain your nervous system to trust peace again. So if that hit, type in the comments, we're healing the masculine too. I'm almost done, you all. Don't leave because you know I have affirmations. All right, so you can't heal by pretending you weren't hurt. It doesn't work like that. Forgiveness frees you, boundaries protect you. Okay? Your peace is your new protection. I need y'all to drop that in the chat. My peace is my new protection. My father was an, oh, bless your heart. All 9 kids split up. Mom, man, became a single mom. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Fatima, grab my clarity reset. Fatima and everyone else on here that doesn't have it. And y'all might think, oh, she just wants us to buy her stuff. Okay, I promise you. Grab my clarity reset. It's a psychological and emotional detox. I promise you it's going to help you. And right now, I have it at an extremely generous price. I mean, extremely generous. Okay? Extremely generous. Your peace is your new protection. Healing your father wound doesn't make you soft, it makes you safe. If you know this resonated with you, let me pull up the clarity reset to tell y'all what's in it. If you know this resonated with you, start your clarity reset to detox these emotional patterns. Okay, let me pull it up. The link is attached to this video. If you're on TikTok, you're gonna have to DM me for the link. My links are always on YouTube. You can always go to my YouTube page at the top and you're going to see where it says the healing suite, the first link. You can always find what you need. You don't have to fight for it, all right? But I'm going to still drop the link in the chat. But let me go through it first and tell y'all what y'all going to get. Is that the right link? We have got to learn to heal and break these generational cycles. All right, so this is my 7-day program. It's going to help you release the emotional weight, the psychological weight, and it's going to bring you back into alignment, okay? So each day we have a different topic. Every day I give you a clarity check-in. This is going to be your moment of awareness to notice what feels heavy or unclear. After that, you're going to get opening insight, a short reflection to reframe your perspective and calm your mind. Remember, I help you work on rewiring your nervous system. Then you're going to get a reset practice. This is going to be a gentle action step to help your body release and integrate what your mind is processing. All right, then you'll get a reflection prompt and more, but it's a guided journaling question to deepen your emotional release and ground your new awareness. Okay? And I know you all don't know me. Most of you all don't know me. I actually have a degree in psychology. I've had this degree over a decade. I just don't talk about it. Okay? And now I'm trying to use it more because I'm like, I paid over 60K, over $60,000 for this psychology degree that I just is just sitting on the shelf. So for some of you that you just want somebody that's degree that's just gonna make you feel better, no matter how qualified the people are, you still want some piece of paper. I have the paper just to let you all know. All right, I just don't talk about it. So day one, every day we're focusing on something different. Day one is, and this is the crazy thing, y'all. I'm saying it cost me 60K. My daddy was in the military. I went to college for free. The issue is, see, this is what the problem was. So when I first went to college, I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to go in the military. My mama and my controlling pastor that I grew up with wouldn't, quote unquote, let me go. So I ended up going into college, and I just played in the people college, y'all. When I tell you I played when I first went, got kicked out because my grades flunked out. Girl, you too smart to be flunking out. How you flunk out and then came back when you ready and graduating with honors? Child, I played in the people classroom. But anyway, day one, we talk about identifying the weight. Okay, so I'm gonna help you identify what you've been carrying that you were never supposed to be carrying. Day two, I'm gonna help you release it. It's called releasing what's not yours. That's what we're focusing on day two. Day three is all about detoxing emotionally. So we're gonna go through those emotions. Day four is all about resetting your core. So I'm trying to bring the core of who you are back into proper alignment. Okay, helping you get your peace back. Day five is all about addressing physical manifestations. I've said it time and time and time again. Trauma gets trapped in the body. If you think I'm just talking, look it up. Science will tell you trauma gets trapped in your body. So a lot of you, you're dealing with these physical ailments, illnesses, sicknesses, your own pills. A lot of this stuff is actually trauma that has manifested into in different diseases. It's showing up as different diseases, but it's really trauma. If you go to therapy, do the inner healing work, you can get off this medication. I ain't telling nobody to stop their medicine. I'm not your doctor. You will not come back and sue me. You will not come back and sue me, but I'm just being honest. A lot of you, it's trauma. I don't know if I ever told you all. Did I ever tell you all about how I was working with someone and she would have knee pain? She would talk about this knee pain that she had, and it was really trauma that was trapped in her knee. Don't know if I ever told y'all that or not. Anyway, day 5 is all about addressing your physical manifestations. Day 6, we go into rebuilding boundaries. Oh, I thought I put day. Okay. Day 6 is all about rebuilding boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, baby, I'm going to help you set them. If you set them and you don't stick to them, guess what? I'm going to help you reset them, rebuild them. And then day 7 is all about living light and free. It's not just about going through this reset to say you did it. No, baby, you're going to live this thing out. All right. And I have some other stuff included. Let me drop the link. So when you grab this, as soon as you download it, you're going to save it on your desktop because it's not just a one-time program and you don't want to be scrambling to fight. Whenever you need to pull it out, you don't want to be scrambling talking about, I can't find it. Renisha, I need you to send it to me again. No, 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 no. I already did. So you're going to save it to your desktop. And also, what am I supposed to be looking up? Also, whenever you invest in any of my classes, courses, programs, the website I use automatically gives you access to me. So as soon as you download this, like if you download it tonight, you can literally complete day 1 tonight. But if you have questions, you can literally send me a DM on my website immediately. Okay, it'll show up. Y'all, I'm trying to pull up the video so I can drop the link. Did this help you all tonight, this teaching, while I'm trying to find my own video to drop the link? Did this teaching help you all? I know people have been asking me, do you have a class? Do you have a product? Do you have anything on father wounds, narcissistic fathers, everything you're saying about your mother? You're describing my dad. All right, so I dropped the link in the chat for those that want to grab that. Grab it now. Start day 1 tonight. Do not go straight through this thing. Take it step by step, day by day. Okay? If you find, great, Fatima, if you find that it's too much, if day 1 has you stuck for like 3 days, that's fine. If you got to be stuck on day 1 3 days, that's fine. But just don't rush through it. Okay? For those of you that want more one-on-one support, you can apply for my breakthrough pathway. That's the 4-session experience. That's for those of you that are like, okay, I call my clarity reset the appetizer. But if you're like, okay, girl, I have all this trauma, stop playing with me, I need to sit in front of somebody, you can apply for that. It's going to help you rebuild your identity and your relationship patterns. But the reason you have to apply is because I don't like my time wasted, and I don't believe in wasting anybody else's time. So although I have a strict no refund policy, if I look over your application and see that you are not serious and we are not a good fit, I'm going to deny you and you're going to get all of your money back. So that's why you have to apply for that. All right. Breakthrough pathway or breakthrough mastery. Pathway is the 4-session, mastery is the 12-session. Again, that's underneath the video. All right, so comment rebuilding safety, rebuilding safety, rebuilding safety if you are ready. All right, let me do a quick reset. My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach. I was about to say inner healing strategist, which I am. I might even start saying that. I'm an inner healing strategist since everybody's using the word coach. Okay, I'm an inner healing strategist and I help high achieving women. I play too much, but I'm so serious. I help high achieving women who look pretty, polished, flawless on the outside, but are quietly crumbling on the inside, unlock their peace, clarity, and emotional freedom. Okay, tonight we were talking all about daddy wounds. He was great. It was a daddy. I was a daddy's girl, and he was a great man. But one of those things you mentioned reminded me of some of his behavior. Makes it, wow, yeah. Listen, my daddy was a great man too, but he wasn't perfect. Ooh, he was a little thought, but let me stay focused. Y'all play too much. Okay. So right now we're wrapping up healing the father gap. Again, I dropped the link for my clarity reset for those who need that. For those who prefer private one-on-one sessions, or in addition to the clarity reset, you want to apply for breakthrough pathway or mastery, I'll just drop one of the links in there. You can apply for my one-on-one sessions, but you have to apply because I have to make sure you're a good fit and that you are serious about healing, because you're not going to waste my time. I don't like my time wasted. And one thing I have learned is a lot of people say they want to be healed, but they don't really want to be healed. You can go play with somebody else. Praise the Lord. Now, once again, you've already earned a quiet victory just by showing up here tonight. Okay, thank y'all so much for hitting the like button. So now I'm about to give you what affirmations. We're going to ground this. This is progress. Even if you just think, I didn't do anything but watch her on live. The fact that you stayed, this is progress. You made progress. Pat yourself on the back. Clap for yourself. I'm being so serious. This is progress, boo. Fatima, progress. Anybody else that's watching, but you don't want to say your name, or you're just lurking? Progress. So now we're going to ground this with spoken affirmations, and then I'm going to give you all some reflection questions that you can answer in your journal. You don't have to answer in the chat, okay? After we're done. So let's do these affirmations first. All right, repeat after me, y'all. I honor my father without inheriting his pain. Safety lives inside me now. Some of y'all need to say that one over and over because you're trying to calm your nervous system down. You're in survival mode. Safety lives inside me now. Safety lives inside me now. You can even tap your heart. Y'all know I love a good heart tapping method. Tap your heart. You can do it like this, or you can do it like this. Safety lives inside me now. I forgive without forgetting my worth. I forgive without forgetting my worth. So for some of you, you think forgiving means letting the person have full access to you. That is not it. That is not the same thing. You can forgive, but you're going to remember what you're worth. And when you know what you're worth, you're going to set a boundary or two or three without guilt. Okay? Repeat after me. My boundaries are love in action. And the last affirmation, I am no longer waiting to be chosen. Okay? So now I'm going to give you some guided reflection prompts. You do not have to answer these in the chat unless you just want to. Okay? You do not. But I need you to answer them. If nothing else, I need you to reflect on this. Okay? What version of you still waits for your father's approval? And again, please do not be fake with me or yourself. Grown men have opened up to me about how they still desire that relationship and that connection with their dad. I'm talking about real grown masculine men. All right. So what version of you still waits for a father's approval? I want you all to think on that for a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Question number 2. Where do you still overperform because you're trying to prove that you are enough? Take another deep breath while you're thinking about that. Where do you still overperform because you're trying to prove that you're enough? All right. Question number 3. What would protection sound like if you spoke it to yourself? Take a deep breath, and you can even say that out loud. You don't have to put it in the comments. If you just want to speak protection over yourself, but what would it sound like? What would protection sound like if you spoke it to yourself? All right, so with this clarity, I need you all to set a new commitment for self protection and healing. Okay, I have some self audit questions for you. You're going to answer these after we get off here. Put it in your journal, your iPad. What y'all use? iPhone, iNotes. I'm a team Samsung girl. What y'all got? iNotes. Put it in your iNotes, whatever. If you don't want to write it out, all right? 3 self audit questions. Number 1, how did my father's behavior shape what I expect from love? Remember how I told you all at the beginning how there are some men I would have never entertained if my daddy was living, but because my daddy made me feel safe, I just started entertaining. I was just looking for a man to make me feel safe. Okay? Looking for my daddy because he was gone. Gone is in deceased. Okay? Question number 2, where have I been parenting others more than myself? And again, we're going deeper into that tomorrow. I think tomorrow's live is earlier because I know Fridays, y'all are not about to be sitting here on nobody live. So make sure you're following me and turn on your notifications. Question number 2 is, where have I been parenting others more than myself? And question number 3, what boundary will I honor this week? You all can put next week since it's Thursday. What boundary will I honor this week and next week to protect my peace? So those are the 3 questions I want you to complete after this live is over. All right. Know this, you don't have to keep searching for the protection you lost. You can build it inside yourself. Once again, my clarity reset, it shows you how to retrain your mind and emotions for that kind of safety. If you are someone who is like, Renisha, I'm overwhelmed, this was a lot, this was too much, I don't know where to start, I'm telling you where to start. The clarity reset is a guided reset. I walk you step by step, and whenever you invest in it, you automatically get access to DM me. So you can DM me, hey Renisha, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I can't process this. You can send me a DM, all right? So know you are healing the father gap, and that changes generations. Thank you all. What's up, Mina? I can't really see. Thank you for tapping the screen. We are just wrapping up. I've been on here over an hour. Anyone that wants to catch the replay, you can go over. I'm not allowed to say the name of the other app that's red and white, but you can go there to catch the replay. This was really good. Like I told you, or like I say sometimes, I may trigger you, but I can help you heal. And I wanted the nurturer in me, I want to apologize for triggering you, but I shouldn't apologize when I can help you heal. So yeah, this was amazing. I love you all. Make sure you're following me. Turn on your notifications. And tomorrow we're talking about, I want to say reparenting yourself. Let me see. All this week was all about trauma in the family unit. And I know y'all gonna love next week because we're talking about how trauma shows up mostly in romantic relationships. Next tomorrow, what is tomorrow about? Rewriting your family story. So reparenting and rituals that are going to help you break these family cycles. That's tomorrow. Thank you, Fatima. That's tomorrow. And next week, baby, just go on my page, hit the live tab, and you'll see everything we're talking about next week. It's going to be lit. All right. So you all have a good night. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hitting the like button. Y'all did y'all big on YouTube. I asked you to share it out. Even share this on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook anymore. Even share it on Facebook. Send it to somebody. Text somebody. that you know has father wounds. All right. Y'all have a good night. God bless you too. God bless all of you.